Hi, I'd like to talk to you today about finding your work-life balance. This is something that's really every one of us could, no matter what, we can all take a look at it. Every one of us can think about, what do we need to do in order to be more rested, less stressed, more resilient. And work-life balance is a big part of that, building resilience and building our stress and time management techniques, etc. Because we have to realize modern working life does not help our work-life balance. I'm old enough to remember work when there was no mobile phones. I remember getting my first one, a little Nokia way back in the day, and it's not an incredibly long time ago, but before that, people didn't have mobile phones. Certainly didn't have smartphones. We all didn't have email addresses and all the rest. So modern work life is impacting. There's a better chance of getting away from it all at that stage when before all these technological devices were in our pockets. Um, so work life these days is more demanding. Most certainly is because we all admit, you know, do you send an email sometimes in the evening when you think, oh, I must email so and so because I forgot to send that message to them. Here, I'll get my phone out and I'll send that now. And that's affecting your work life balance, but it's also affecting the work life balance of the person you send it to because he or she may be sitting at home with their family trying to get some rest and relaxation and leisure time, and the phone pings, email. Ah, there's that important email I was expecting from that guy. Thought it would come earlier today, but it's here now. What's the psychological demand with email is that we answer straight away. It has that immediacy around it. We can, and the whole social media and modern technology is driving us towards that immediacy. We must do that now. We expect an answer now. So we have to think about our work-life balance. We also have all our old habits to break as well. Because no, I'll stay a wee bit longer. I'll dither over this for a while because I'm actually wasting my time. I'm not focusing properly because of my own habits. And sometimes that's just tiredness. Sometimes we've just been working too long. We need that break. We need that work-life balance to kick in. So what is work-life balance? Well, one thing it's not about an equal split between work and leisure. Work-life balance is about finding the right balance of quality leisure time and quality rest time with the right people doing the right things. And sometimes not with the right people, sometimes just on your own, as you'll see when I give my tips. So I always say, and it's no saying, we all know it, nobody has ever lay on their deathbed and said, I wish I spent more time at the office. They're more likely to say, I wish I had spent more time away from the office. So let's see what we can do. First tip, start early. Get started on your day, whatever your activities for the day. If you look at some of my time management tips and time management videos and articles, it'll say, look, write your agenda the day before you go home the evening before. What's your list of priorities for the next day? Write them down. Get into work the next day. Start them early. Stick at them. Get them done. One at a time. No multitasking. Okay. So that's as much as I'm going to say about the workplace. The other things is outside the workplace because that's where we need to pay some attention to. If we start early and we get our stuff done and we have a defined home time and we go home, well then we need to look out for stuff outside of the workplace. Some of the things that I've done, we have four children, four beautiful daughters, and what we decided, we used to take them to bed. They all went to bed at the same time, and they're younger, of course. Age soon puts bed to that. As they start getting older, they want to sit up later, and so what we started doing was staggering the bedtimes because I found in the middle of the week we used to split it where I do half the week and my wife do half the week and we get them all to bed. And but I found in the middle of the week I was maybe standing around downstairs, and what happened? I lifted out the laptop to send that email or to look at something or to do a bit of research on maybe something I was doing. So we staggered the bedtimes. So we started letting the older children go a little bit later. It meant I could get some good quality time with my older children. It meant that it was too late then when they were all in bed to start thinking about taking out the laptop because I was thinking about going to bed myself. What we would do is read to the children. I love reading with my children. With our two youngest, and sometimes our second oldest daughter joins us. I don't know how many times we've read the entire Harry Potter series. We're on the Deathly Hallows now for the umpteenth time. I love it. I watch the films with them. I enjoy that, just that quality time. It was all snuggling round and maybe reading a few pages to a chapter, and just the chat that we have around it. It stops the laptop coming out as well, but it's good quality time. Three, I call my third tip feed the ducks because it's something I like to do. It's a bit schedule it in if you have to, and but fun activities, things you like doing, whether that's with family or friends, doesn't matter. Get those, feed those ducks if that's what it is for you. Okay, get it and go and do it and just relax. It's more about what relaxes you and what you enjoy doing rather than any activity. Four is sometimes just go solo and breathe. I happen to live beside a nice scenic set of mountains. I can be there in 10 minutes from the house and be on a walk. And sometimes I just like doing that by myself, maybe with the dog with me, and go out and for a dander and just look around, take in the scenery, take a few photographs, and just relax. Nothing else, no conversation, no having to look after anybody. Just walk, look, appreciate, and relax. Okay. Five, it's important to have some family outdoor time. I know this is something that's important to myself and my wife. And it's not about, yes, we do the reading of the books and the snuggling and the bedtimes and all, but about good quality outdoor activity. Get the children out, go to a forest park, go to a mountain for an accessible walk, go somewhere where we can just enjoy the outside. Just get a coffee and ice cream or something at the end of it, whatever it might be, and and just enjoy it. Just have that quality outdoor time, breathing the fresh air, taking in the outdoors. It's fantastic. And the sixth one, and probably the most important, every week I have a definite no work, no device day. For me, that's a Sunday. For me, a Sunday is just no matter what else is happening. This is not about a religious choice or anything like that. This is about having a day in the week where I'm saying, right, I'm not working, I'm not answering emails, I'm not preparing training materials. I'm spending time with my family, with my friends, going maybe to a sporting event as we did last weekend, or or simply just spending family time. Some days just relaxing around the house and watching a movie with popcorn, etc. And it's just a lovely thing to do. But the phone must go away, the laptop must go away. And sometimes there's pressure on for deadlines, and my wife's saying you're gonna have to go and do that. And I resist the Sunday being interrupted. I do like a bit of time on a Sunday with a cup of coffee and the Sunday papers. Not a website. The actual broadsheet Sunday papers spread out in front of me at the kitchen table, and a bit of peace and quiet, and just reading the sport, reading the various articles I like to read, and just relaxing. Okay. So the one thing to note is that we will all falter in this. We will all slip up. Some Sunday there'll be pressure on, and I'll end up maybe doing a bit when I don't want to and don't like to, and I've promised myself not to. But you know something? That's life. The one thing not to do is worry. Just don't worry about it. Reset and restart. And if something happens someday that upsets your personal, this is a personal set of tips for me that I've just given you. Your own will be personal to you. Reset and restart when it gets interrupted and just go again. And do that as often as it takes. because that might happen regularly. Just restart each time, and don't worry about it. Okay, thank you very much for listening. All the best. Bye bye.